Welcome to another episode of I Quit My Job, where ordinary stories become extraordinary inspirations. And today's episode, we have no other than Tika. First of all, Tika, thank you so much for blessing us and coming on here.
Thank you for having me, Slowly.
You're more than welcome. And Tika is a lash expert as well as an artist. She's been doing this a while in the city of Toronto. And, she's been a pioneer in this game, and I'm sure you'll hear her story. So, Tika, as you know, this is all about I Quit My Job.
Yeah.
So why don't you kind of like give us a little update of where you are and currently, who you are, and then we'll just take it from there.
Okay. Well, I am Tika Nufil. I am a lash artist. I am located in Toronto. And currently, I run my business out of my home. And I have finally decided to take the leap and train. So with that, I've been working on a manual so I can share my craft with others who want to level up their lash game.
Oh, nice. Level up their lash game. So what does that mean in terms of like, do you have a specific style that you're going to put in this module, or are you training everybody from?
No, this is not training for the beginners. This is
Masterclass.
This is right, exactly. This is more of an after lash masterclass. Just for those artists out there that are kind of stuck, that want to level up their lash game, that don't seem to be pumping out sets that are making their clients want more of or return for. So, every artist has their signature look. Every artist has, their technique. I feel that I've mastered my technique in wispy lash sets, and I am hoping to share that with others. And so that's currently what I am working on now.
Okay, so the master class is about your wispy look.
Yes.
Nice. So as you know, this is all about I quit my job and, that unconventional route. And it seems like you've been in this whole industry or beauty industry for, a while. So why don't you explain like your I quit my job moments, or how did you get into this career and how did you maintain? Get us all caught up.
Okay, well, in being in the beauty industry, it was only fitting. As a young girl, my mother always, maintained herself, took care of herself, wore makeup, dressed well. I don't even believe she's ever left the house, even on a bad day, not looking right. And I think from then, what she instilled in us was the same. And I've always been attracted to that beauty industry. I was wearing makeup at an early age. My mom's makeup, even though she was like couple shades lighter than me, did my brows, did my lashes when I don't even think lashes were even thought of. Right. And started out getting into the nails by, doing my friends with Sally Hansen products. And from there, just coming across a school and being trained in nails, pedicures, waxing. That school then hired me to work at their Yorkdale location. And from there, I got a taste of the hustle. I was working on a commission basis, and, if I didn't work or if I wasn't booked, I wouldn't get paid. Wow. So the rewards of being booked was like, wow, this is crazy. And, I think that's where that entrepreneurial spirit kind of started. And, from the nails, pedicure, waxing, went into, lash training. And, I was trained by my mentor, Jeanette Allenson. Shout out, Jeanette Spawn Salon, Yorkville.
Wow.
No longer, but, they were a very well-known spawn salon at the time. Did my lash training, and I never looked back.
Like what really made you decide to say, hey, this is it?
Well, at the time I was very young, like my late teens, actually, when I started working in Yorkdale. And, from there, I did have, other jobs, from 19, 20, 21, I was like bartending, actually at 21.
Okay.
So it was like bartending nights, working at the spa in the day, bartending full-time, working at the spa part-time, then sometimes working at the spa full-time, bartending part-time. But the bar, it was good money at the time, bartending in the nightclubs. And it was hard to kind of let it go. But it got
Why
to a
is
certain...
that? Why is that?
Because, you're hustling, you're making good money at night, and, you're thinking, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, I can't... But then I am, like, going to the spa, I'm doing, nails, but it's like it got to the point where it just wasn't meshing anymore. I was tired, going in late, wasn't really concentrating on my craft.
Right. So your passion was the whole beauty.
The passion was, I knew that would always be there. And, when you're in your early 20s and you're bartending in the nightclubs, that's all you want to do. Right. It was just like, I thought I'd be like, retiring like at 60 bartending. It was fun. The money was crazy, And, by the time I made the decision, I was like in my 30s bartending, and I'm like, this isn't serving me as much, but then what am I going to do? I have this industry that I love that I can fall back on. But as I was told, there's no way I can thrive if I'm working till 4 a.m., right, drinking, all that stuff in the bars. So I made the decision to hand in my notice, retired, bartending, and, it took a couple months, but things started to fall into place, and it worked out.
Were you ever nervous at any point?
Yes, I was. I a lot of times would, if I wasn't happy, I would quit a job, or I'd make a decision not even knowing, like, okay, I didn't have a plan. I don't even know what I'm going to do tomorrow. Rent is due in a few days. I just made that leap. And that's why I just went kind of full on into it. But like I said, it was tight for the first, couple months, because all that bar money is gone. And now I'm like, just, starting out. I'm not busy all the time, but luckily for me, I had that support system with my mentor, and just being able to see clients and be booked with clients without, I wouldn't say without putting myself out there. She put me out there. She believed in me. My work spoke for itself, but right, I was able to gain a little reputation and a little following with clients. And that's how I started to grow.
So you're saying within that journey, the most important part was the fact that your mentor kept you in check. And it seemed like you were very, like, I wouldn't say it's lucky, but the path that you took in terms of the companies you worked for. So you trained with somebody, you saw the ins and outs of how the business worked. Yeah. I just think, like, you just got that real lived experience.
Yes.
To be able to kind of, like, really know what you want.
I have been really blessed with the support of, not only mentors and people in the industry that saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. I got a taste of, the high valued client and charging your worth. Going from Yorkdale to Yorkville, mm-hmm, I remember the whole Renfrew spa at the time. It was Estee Lauder Spa, and they had hired me. Mm-hmm. And they hired me for a certain wage an hour, and I knew, like, I was being booked. Clients loved what I did. Right. And I remember I think it was less than a year, and I went to the office and I said, listen, I feel like I should be getting more. At the time, I was being paid hourly, but I right, did feel I just couldn't be going into work knowing that I'm doing all this stuff. Right. And they sat me down and they asked what I thought was fair, and I did. Mm-hmm. And you know what? They gave it to me.
They gave it to you?
They gave it to me.
Oh, my goodness.
And, from there, it's like, you have to know your worth. You have to be able to know how to not only negotiate, but stand up for yourself when you know you can provide a certain this. And I used all those things to say, this is what I can do. But the fact that they heard me out and that they did give it to me, it was amazing. From there, that was the last hourly job I took in a spa. From there, I was hired by Jeanette Spa and Salon, and I was working in an independent basis as on commission, but as a contractor. And from there, negotiated instead of getting, paid biweekly, I wanted to be paid weekly, and, I, like I said, when you believe in yourself, even though at the time I did believe in myself, there was other things other areas where I still had to grow in, but for some reason, I always knew my worth.
To me, it seems like you never really looked at like, well, I got to lessen my skill sets or lessen my worth just because I need this to get
Right.
by on the next.
Yes.
So what kind of gems can you drop for those that are actually in that position where they're like taking less just to kind of survive, but they're so afraid to say no?
I always say protect your space and your peace, but also too, if you walk into something at a certain agreement, like starting a job and you start somewhere, which sometimes I've told people that who have asked me my opinion. And sometimes when you start somewhere and you realize, oh my God, I'm overworking, my work is good, I need this and that, there's always a time where you can revisit that or renegotiate. You can always, pull the manager aside, ask for a meeting just to talk and just to say, I understand, my probation is coming up, or, I've been here for 6 months, I'm hoping to talk to you about certain things because this is what's been on my mind. This is what I'm giving. This is what I feel I'm worth. What can we do to...
Where did that come from for you to do that?
I think it came naturally, and I've always been outspoken. I've always been confident. Even in some of my insecurities, I still am confident. And a lot of things is just how you approach situations, how you speak, and people know if you believe in yourself. You can have a script and a line, but people will know. You can't hide it. And I feel that strength is seen, and I find too, you want to be in a place where people respect you, that people want to see you do good, because those are the companies that will allow you to come in and talk to and try to renegotiate or just kind of just have a checkup. And
Wow.
and like I said, maybe I've just been lucky or just blessed or in a position to have people just want to champion for me. From Jeanette Spawn Salon, Robert Gage took me in, rest in peace. From there, I was seeing more high-valued clients. It's just, and like I said, it's also to the law of attraction.
Right.
My prices as well, they don't attract someone who just wants to bump around to get the cheapest service or just like, a fly-by-night client. My clients have been around for a long time. I've established relationships with, I have taken a couple clients from Instagram after nice, lengthy letters. Of course, when people reach out to you in certain ways
Right,
and
of
loving
course.
your work, you want to open that up.
Right,
And so I have been blessed with attracting, those clients, and it's a relationship. I feed off of my clients just like they would feed off of me. If my energy's bad, I'm gonna, you don't want to kick off with the clients in that sense. And yes, I've had, maybe disagreements with clients or they've, maybe not been happy about something, but that's the thing about relationships. You have a respect, you speak it out, you discuss
Wow.
it. There is that customer service aspect, sometimes the customer's not always right, but it's how you communicate and how you try to, I guess, what is it? To handle conflict. And I
Right,
wouldn't
right.
even say I have conflict with my clients. It's just, it's just like I said, it's the beginning of a relationship, and you have to nurture that relationship, whether it's a friendship or a business relationship. And that's why I feel I've done as well that I do having a clientele on referral basis and, that longevity with clients as well. Yes.
What are the next steps for somebody who's looking at you right now saying, man, this young lady controlled her game. Like, I can't do that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how would you now, like on a realistic note?
Right. It's still a work in progress. And I would say the way I handle things now is very different from when I did even 2 years ago, even 6 months ago. A lot of times from experience, you learn. So even like, whether it's implementing your policies or anything, everything in my policy has happened because it wasn't in the policy, and then something happened for me to say, let me put this in the policy.
Okay,
It's just,
okay,
it's really
okay.
with experience,
Okay.
but you kind of set your tone for your business. You make the rules because, when people respect you or your clients respect you, it's not hard to abide by someone's rules and respect someone who has, rules. One thing I would say in terms of like policies, whatever, like knowing your worth, yes.
And how do you know your worth?
You know
I mean,
what?
those are so
It's-
cliche.
You know what? Put it this way: it's like imagine like being in Scarborough doing nails for $55.
Right.
You're really good at it,
Right.
and then you get to a Yorkville spa and those nails are $100,
Right.
and you see that people are coming in and they're loving your work and they're paying for it. Then you kind of know your worth. It's really your clients show you.
Is that your worth
too.
or is that your price?
It's my price.
It's your price.
My pricing is above a little bit the kind
And
of
why is
standard
that? Why is
you
your
see.
price above standards?
Because I feel that because of the work that I do and what I create, it's just what I set for myself. And I always raise my prices, whether it be every 6 months to every year. Another gem would be, sometimes just, if you're going to raise your prices, what I would do is I would give my existing clients notice. As of this date, this is what the price will be.
Okay.
But new clients, that price is implemented right away.
Right away. Wow. Clients you should lose to make way for the clients you should attract. I really appreciate you
drop some
coming on.
more.
You want to drop some more?
hope so.
Really?
I mean,
No, there's a lot of gems that you're dropping. But yeah, and so this is I Quit My Job podcast, and we're so blessed to have Tika on this journey with us and explaining her journey. This was an amazing podcast. I loved it. I'm slowly +1, and this would be Tika.
Nufia.
Tika Newfield, thank you so much for showing up and gracing us with all the things that you have said. Thank you so much, and thank you for really tuning in. Appreciate you. Peace.